Hi, it's Therese and I'm back for Scrapbook Boutique, and today I've got some fun products to share. I'm going to be making a shaker card, but to start off with I want to use one of these Ranger texture pastes, and there's 3 in a pack and they're a lot of fun. They're transparent matte finish or transparent gloss finish or opaque matte finish. Really fun, and a good small size too, perfect for me. I've chosen a piece of cardstock out of this Avery paper pad, which is called the Bright collection, and just cut it down. It's going to be the back of my shaker, and I've decided to use the transparent matte finish, and I didn't even bother actually taping the stencil down. This is from Echo Park. It's called Random Stars. It's a really cute stencil. Because what I thought I could do is, by using this paste, I can actually keep the pattern of the design paper, but also add some depth with some distress inks. But first I've got to set this aside to dry. It actually didn't take that long to dry, but I did go and wash all my stencil and everything off in the meantime. I just didn't want to ruin the stencil with texture paste. Okay, I'm going to do some Copic colouring now. I've got a couple of images that I've stamped out. They're from the Lawn Fawn Fairy Friends stamp set, really cute little set. And I'm just doing some really simple Copic colouring here. I didn't want to make this card too technical. So on her wings, I forgot to put the colour there, but I think that was the B01, and I just used my blender to actually blend out the edges of that. On her face, I just used 2 different colours because it's such a small area. All her skin, it's just 000 and E00. Just added a tiny bit of shading, and that was it. Her hair, I probably did the most work on, and even then, it wasn't a lot of work. I sort of made her a light blondie colour, and the colours I use for that are E50, and then I used for my shadow the E33, and I only just did this in just a couple of spots, and I didn't actually blend it out too much because, like I said, I just wanted it to be really simple. E31 was my middle colour that I chose, and I really didn't do much more than that. It's pretty much how I left it. Oh yeah, I did colour the star in with the B01 as well. And then her dress, I made it white. So to do that, I just used the TO, which is not a real warm grey, but it's not the cool grey either. It's somewhere in between. I really like the T's. And the flower was white, so I used the TO as well, just to add a little bit of shading among the petals. Like I said, very simple. I was originally going to make this a daisy. Well, it kind of is a daisy, but I didn't want to use the yellow. So V12 was what I used on the top of the flower, and YG13 for the stem. I just thought I'd include this little bit of fussy cutting, even though I'm trying to get off the screen here. What I just wanted to show you was, when you are fussy cutting, one of the easiest ways to cut around an intricate area is to cut it first. And by cutting it first, it just gives you a handhold. You know, like I still got the rest of the cardstock there to hold on to while I'm cutting it out. So I'll just finish cutting out the images. And then to create my actual window, I'm using some MFTs. This is the wonky stitched rectangles. I am loving these dies. They're great, and I like it when you can put 2 together and you can end up with a frame, and it has that wonky stitched border in it. How much fun is that? Now it's time to add the colour to my panel, and this is where the pastes come into their own. Because I've added the stars with the paste, they're going to resist the ink from the distress inks. Now the first colour distress ink I've got here is called Tumble Glass. It's a light blue, but because it's already going on to the blue, it does look a bit darker than it normally would. And actually this paper, the distress inks take to it really well. So I just add a bit of that. That's kind of my lightest colour in the background. And I add that over the whole background just so that those stars can really pop. And then my next colour is the Mermaid Lagoon, which is really quite a bold blue colour. So I'm not adding too much of that. Oh, look at me. I'm such a princess. I'm holding a piece of paper on top of the panel so I don't get my fingers dirty from the ink. Can you believe it? And my last colour that I'm using is the milled lavender, and I've really just added that at the bottom. Now I wanted my flower to be sort of between the panel and the acetate, so what I've done is I've added a couple of micro glue dots, and that way I can tuck it in and adhere it so it won't sort of move around while I adhere the acetate. So this is my ATG gun. I'm just using that on the back of the frame, and then I can just pop my acetate straight on top of that. I've cut it already the right size to fit. I'm using some, this is the score tape, it's the 1/4 inch, and I'm just put that around all 4 sides to help, because I want something strong to hold the foam that's going to create the well. Now the foam is just off an A4 sheet of foam. I've cut a really thin strip down, and then I'm literally just going to piece it right round the whole frame, and making sure there's no gaps because I don't want my shaker elements to fall out. And then I also popped some more score tape on top of the frame. I used the 1/8 of an inch. I just didn't want this adhesive sort of showing through and sticking to the, and then this is the Twinklets. This is a glass glitter. Really cool stuff. Love it. It's actually made of glass. And then what I've done is I've already cut down my star panel and pop some score tape on the back of that, and then I can just seal up my shaker. It's ready to go. So my sentiment, I'm just using my Misty to stamp it out in some Delicata Silver, and it's from the Fairy Friends stamp set as well, and it says, "Have a magical day." And then I can just adhere my shaker box straight down to the top of my card, and all it's left to do really is to pop up my little fairy, and I'm just having her sort of hovering over the flower and sticking straight onto the acetate, just with some pop dots there. And then I thought a little bit of shimmer with some Winker Stella would be fun, and that's pretty much my card for today. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back again real soon. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.